We eat plants, we eat vegetables. So when we eat a vegetable, there's a chance that the complex organic molecules that we're devouring, that the carbon atoms, have come from something like a poo. So how do carbon atoms from this dog poo end up inside you? Let's look at the carbon cycle. So starting with our poo, or our waste, technical name for poo is feces, so we don't really call it poo in science. Microorganisms will feed on waste material, like feces. Another name for microorganisms is decomposers, or bacteria or fungi. They break down the organic molecules in the poo and release energy from it in respiration. However, when microorganisms do respiration, we call it decomposition, and the waste product of decomposition or respiration is carbon dioxide. So the carbon atoms that were inside the waste feces are now in the atmosphere as carbon dioxide molecules. But how do those carbon dioxide molecules get back inside living things? Well, they go through the pores, the tiny holes in the underside of a leaf in a plant. They diffuse in. And why does the plant want carbon dioxide? Well, it needs it for the process called photosynthesis. And in this process, the plant will take the carbon atoms away from the carbon dioxide and produce organic molecules, such as glucose, starch, protein, and lipids. Starch is great for storage in their roots, protein so the plant can grow, and lipids to make their waxy cuticles on their leaves. Next, animals will feed on the plants in order to gain the glucose, the starch, the protein, or the lipids. And they'll break down some of these organic molecules to release energy via respiration. And in doing so, they will release the carbon atoms as waste carbon dioxide gas. Let's not forget that plants also respire and release carbon dioxide when they release energy. And we go back in a cycle here because the animal can release organic molecules via its waste, or the animal and plant die. And during death and decomposition or decay by microorganisms, the carbon dioxide or the carbon atoms from those organic molecules is released again as carbon dioxide. So it's a cycle, the carbon cycle. We mustn't call it the carbon dioxide cycle. Photosynthesis takes carbon dioxide or carbon atoms from the atmosphere and puts them in living things. Respiration and decomposition return carbon atoms to the atmosphere in the form of carbon dioxide. And this cycle has been working beautifully for millions of years. And in the last 400 years, humans have come along and had an industrial revolution. And during that industrial revolution, we realized that we could burn fossil fuels to make our own energy to power cities and power homes. And we call the burning of fossil fuels combustion. And combustion is the primary driving force behind global warming, as it produces carbon dioxide. This is the carbon cycle. The key points: you need to remember that there's three processes that put carbon dioxide in the air or the atmosphere, and only one that takes it out in the atmosphere, and that's photosynthesis. Make sure you study this cycle and you learn it. Now we're going to go through an exam question where you will have to apply the knowledge here on this cycle to answer the questions. Let's have a go at the first one. So pause the video and have a go. So let's go through the answers. Give the letters of two arrows in the diagram which show respiration. So if we look at A, that's burning fossil fuels, combustion. Dead animals and plants, B, well, that could be decomposition. Technically it could also be respiration. But we're really looking at C and D. Plants and animals both respire, and often people forget that plants respire. They just picture them doing photosynthesis. Give the letter of one arrow which shows decay. Well, we want to find the dead animals and plants, and we see that box, and then follow the arrow round to the atmosphere. The answer is B. At a stretch, you could say F. This diagram shows part of the carbon cycle in a habitat. Pause the video and have a go. Okay, I'm going to go through the answers. Name the processes shown by arrows X and Y. Well, Y is fossil fuels going into the atmosphere, and that's combustion. And X is respiration. But to be honest, you could put decay or decomposition, as microorganisms respiring is also decomposition. Describe the part played by algae in this carbon cycle. Well, if we look at the algae, there's an arrow from the atmosphere to the algae. Well, that'll be photosynthesis. They're removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere in photosynthesis, 2 marks. But also the algae are being decayed into by the microorganisms, so we can say that as well. And also the algae are a living thing, so they respire and release carbon dioxide via respiration. So lots of marks to gain there. For the last question, why in tropical rainforests process X is much faster than in most other habitats? Well, tropical rainforests are warmer and they're damp, and decay loves heat and it loves water. You need those for decay. Okay, guys, pause the video, have a go at this 6 marker. Right, we're going to put the answers up and see how you did. You really need to be getting at least 6 of these key points that are coming up in the answers. So check it out, mark your answer, see how you did. Remember, you can watch the video as many times as you like. And if you've got any comments or suggestions for making my videos better, please leave them below. Remember, let's get to the marks and smash those exams. Thank you for watching. Bye.